Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your June 2019 reading. This is for sun rising. This is for sun, moon, and rising signs of Taurus. Now, to book a personal reading, the information is in the description box below. I do have a website, but unfortunately, it's having technical difficulties, and I'm currently communicating with the website provider company, the website provider, to fix these problems. But until then, for the inconvenience, all of my readings will be 50% off. The readings that I provide are decision, if you're in between decisions, or if you're not quite sure, if you really need guidance from spirit about these decisions, or you want to really get a feel for your options. I have a reading for that. I have a career reading service. I also have a general reading service and an extended reading service. I am an empath and a clairvoyant, so it's it's a lot to juggle. It really is. A lot of it, most of it is just really just kind of sifting through the information and really getting down and funneling it down to a certain message or a certain point. There's just so many messages that spirit wants to get out to people, especially with doing general things. It is a bit difficult. My personal readings are a lot better, like a lot better. But you know what? With that being said, here it goes. Now, I will say that, if something doesn't resonate, then it isn't for you. I probably, some messages will, maybe there's a phrase or a word or a piece of advice that you need. If it's not from me, it is probably from another reader. Not all sources of information are for everyone. But I probably, if it doesn't resonate with you now, probably check in with me with the mid-months. Or maybe I have a message for you in July. But if I don't, I'm very sorry. I am more than 100% sure that there is a reader out there who has a message specifically for you. With that being said, now in the middle you have the cards laid out for the week. On the right hand side you have the advice that spirit wants to give you for each week, and on the far left are just cards that flew out as I was shuffling. I do pull clarifiers for the cards. The cards on the far right are the cards at the bottom of the deck, so it's really the overall message that you're supposed to take away from this reading. Like the lesson or the piece of advice or the things you really need to concentrate on or pay attention to. Those are the the cards that really need the most attention and pretty much sum up the entire month. I do clarify those cards as well. With that being said, if you will look at your first week, so the first week you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Sun card. I had the same reading for Pisces. Like, if your moon is in Pisces, I definitely go check out the Pisces reading. With this, I feel like I was really happy in the beginning. Like when flipping over these cards, I was really ecstatic. I was really excited. I was really, like, spirit really had me just overjoyed. Like, just really, I feel more so the Ace of Cups in this. Now, the advice that the spirit has for the week is the Woman, and the clarifiers for the Woman is of course, the Queen of Wands and the Hierophant. So it's really just the advice for this week is just really being in your power and having confidence in yourself, knowing that what you're doing and your capabilities and your abilities themselves are a gift. I feel like for some of you it's a gift. Like, you have a gift for some of you. And doubting that is not helping. Like, really doubting that is not helping. You really need to take a hold of things and just grab the bull by the horns and just really dive into this. because there is a higher purpose for your gift. Um, with that being said, there's something in the beginning of the week that's given to you, an opportunity that has you work with other people, and it really has you at the I feel like for some of you, it really has you at the forefront. Like, people look for you for that stable insight. It's weird because Taurus is earth energy, so it's kind of like for you, Spirit's really asking you to dive deep into, like, out of your comfort zone. Not go out of your comfort zone, but really just kind of, Spirit screwing with my volume. Like, let's not do that. So really just stepping out of your comfort zone and standing in a different, like, they're probably, like, exploring a different side of you will definitely bring great joy, or will definitely bring some sense of, I wouldn't say, it will definitely, it's a new experience. That's wonderful. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's a new experience that's absolutely positively wonderful. And really being in that feminine energy and really just being caring and compassionate and being that shoulder and really listening is definitely going to help this week. It's definitely going to help this week. But I feel like charisma is what I'm getting. Your character, your charisma, like, that is going to be on fire this week. And with this new opportunity, if you bring in your charisma, like, really, yeah, like, really, really, that is what is needed. They need a leader, not a follower, not a pack mule. They need someone who has gifts. Gifts? Gifts. They need someone who really is there to, like, like, you are a person in the group who really is a master of what they do. And people need that this week. Like, it's needed this week, especially with this new opportunity. I feel like that's the only reason this new opportunity is coming in, is because you are needed. Like, you are definitely needed. With that being said, we're going to look into the second week. Now, the second week, you have the King of Wands, the Magician, the Seven of Wands, I can't do this, Baron. Like, I can't. Like, oh, goodness. Oh, sorry. The Seven of Wands, the Empress, the Death card, and the Bouquet. So, for this week, I would say definitely that what I'm getting is be careful. Be careful not to, because, with Taurus, Taurus is primarily with Earth, like, Earth energy is very good with Earth energy is just very stable, very calm, very sturdy. They're always there when you need them. Nothing much changes, and if it does change, it's a slow change. There's a lot of fire going on, especially in the beginning of the week. So I would say to just be a little careful. That's what I'm getting caution. Like, just be careful not to burn any bridges, or not to, take on that stubborn attitude. Just to really just, bring what you have to offer to the table and know that that's more than enough. Like, it's enough. That what you have to bring is enough. With the Magician, I really do feel like you're taking a hold of this new opportunity. The Magician, you're really taking hold of this new opportunity, making it your own. And with that, a lot of people can be jealous. A lot of people can be questionable about it. Just when you're met with adversity, this week, I would say that approach it with approach it with compassion, and approach it from a gentle giant's point of view. Like, really just give them the benefit of the doubt, and because I feel like that person has something to work out on their own. Like, they really do have something about themselves that they need to work on, and their frustration is just being displayed at this moment. Like, just really, instead of being combative and or being stoic and just not really giving them the time of day, just, let them know that they're heard. You're the bull. That's what I'm getting. Like, just be sturdy, be resilient, but don't, like, aggression, like, you're already in this fire energy. Like, aggression is not the answer right now. Like, you already have this fire going. Like, just really like, really work on balance. I feel like balance is very important, especially with the compassion. Like, balance, that compassion, but that strength is very important. That duality with the two is just very, it's going to be very important for the second week, because there is going to be change. There's going to be change that, I mean, Taurus are always good with change. Like, Taurus are just notoriously good with change. I mean, from my experience, they've just, all the Taurus that I've come across or I've met and I know currently, like, they're just good with change. Like, it just doesn't bother them. They can meet change. They can work with it. They can go against it, and it just works. Like, so for the ones that I know, or for the ones that I'm aware of, there's going to be this change, this absolute beautiful change, and Spirit really wants you to, I'm getting compassion again. Like, Spirit just really wants you to work on that compassion. Like, really come from a place of compassion and love and just nurturing, because there's going to be a lot of, like, your earth energy is going to be used this month for sure. For sure. So stability, really advice. People are going to be looking up to you, or looking to you for answers. Like, just really, don't try to be someone you're not. Although Taurus never, like, they don't have time for that. Like, Taurus don't have time for that. Like, I'm getting, like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Oh, I forgot to mention, the way that I channel, the way that my gifts work is that, with other people, I really feel from the human perspective, um, like, when I communicate, Spirit really has me, like, in an open area, and I'm standing not on a soapbox, but I'm standing elevated, and I'm talking to a group of people. Like, I can't, not a group of, well, they're people, but they're energies. Like, I see and I feel energies, and I speak to that. And so Spirit gives me images and feelings, but I also feel Spirit's side of things, and I feel the human side of things. So for me, duality is everything, because that's kind of how my gift runs. It's just learning and understanding and accepting both sides of the story and both opinions, and just having them heal and work in harmony, so that healing can take place and movement forward can take place, because we're all here for a reason. So with that being said, there is this beautiful change. It's going to be amazing. Now, the only thing that worries me is the third week. Like, the third week of June is the only thing that really raises red flags for me. You have the Nine of Cups, the King of Swords, the Devil, the Five of Wands, and the Three of Swords, and then you have the Bear as the advice. Now, the Bear is just this strong, mature, it's basically the embodiment of what Taurus is depicted as. Like, it really is the embodiment of what Taurus is depicted as. It's just strong, knowledgeable, gentle, willing to work hard for others, willing to work hard for them, but willing to work hard for themselves, willing to work hard for the people that they love. but also being protective of the people that they love, and being very watchful of the people that they love. I would say that, conflict and bad habits and just strong words are going to be flying this week. And, where you come from really has to mirror that in a sense of the opposite. Like, you really have to be that weight, what I get from Spirit is that earth signs really are that balance, like that big weight that really balance out a lot, like a lot. So it's just very much, you have to be that balance, or Spirit's wanting you to be that balance for this week, because if you really take on this energy and reciprocate it as it is given to you, there's definitely going to be conflict, and some words are going to be said, and some bad habits are getting, like stubbornness. I'm getting stubbornness. Like there are some bad habits that are going to come up, and just Spirit's like, no, 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 no. We're trying to grow. We're trying to change. Like, you had this opportunity. Like, no, like this is not Taurus. What was all this work for? Like, just But you are slow moving in your growth. I feel like it's just kind of like you're having a setback in the third week, like just a small little setback that can be avoided, and that's the point of the I feel like that's the point of the bear card. The bear card is just like that weight, like that earth energy that can offset that imbalance in the scales. Like, you really have to be that stronghold. It's like Spirit's calling for Taurus to be a Taurus, like just to be sturdy, to be still, to be observant, to be there to lean on when someone needs, but use your discernment. Like, really just be, don't, you're in a, like, don't really just know the equivalent of the give and take, stand your ground if you really need to stand your ground. But if someone is trying to really come at you, just take it step by step. Just go through the processes moment by moment, if you have to, minute by minute, whatever you have to do, really. If you need to ground yourself, then ground yourself before you enter these conversations. But I would definitely, because in the beginning of the week it's wonderful, but I feel like the beginning of the week is residue from the second week of June. Like, it's really just this aftermath of the second week, like this beautiful change that undergoes, and you're just really feeling yourself, you're really feeling your oats, you're really just feeling the fruits of your labor. And because of that, you're just really sharp tongue, but you're clear about it. Like, you have a clear mind, because I'm feeling clear. Like, I'm happy, but I'm not going to take BS, but I'm happy. And it's just kind of like something clicks, or I'm feeling like, if I'm speaking to a specific few of you, I will point that out. But if I'm speaking in general, then I'm just going to just keep speaking. I'll point it out if I'm speaking to a select few, but I just feel like this is general. Like, there's Spirit's, like, the message I'm getting from Spirit is that there is a trigger that happens between the middle and the beginning of the week. There's a trigger that happens, and it really has you go into bad habits. Like, also be careful. I just feel uncomfortable with the devil so close to the Nine of Cups. Like, the Nine of Cups is a wonderful card. It's a card of celebration. It's a card of just really partying, enjoyment. Like, you've worked hard, you filled your cups, now you get to enjoy them. But I will say that the Nine of Cups for me is really much a double-edged sword. You can overjoy, you can, have that gluttonous attitude. Like, you can just really get into it. Like, Taurus have always been good at snapping back, but maybe this is not the week to do that. This is not the week in the month to be going the extra mile and really getting into bad habits. Really try to Really try to stay in this energy. Be grateful. I'm hearing be grateful um, for what you have, for what you've accomplished, for how far you've gotten. Just this is a good week to work on gratitude. I feel like the end of the week, the Three of Swords and the Five of Wands, that conflict and that heartache, I feel like it can be avoided. Like, I honestly feel like it can be avoided. Because that's what I'm feeling. Alright, Spirit's giving me nothing else about this week. Other than that, you are the weight that will balance the scale. You are the weight that will balance the scale. You just need to take up that, you just really need to take up that role, and you really need to see where you are needed and fill that need. Now, in the last week, what I see is that okay, before I even read off the cards, what I'm getting is that in the last week, if you do follow this advice, and you become I feel like if you become the scale, the weight that balances the scales, and you really stand in that authority, I feel like this is what's going to happen in the last week. Again, I would like to just say that my understanding of Spirit is that, with tarot, this is just the projection of your trajectory. Like, Spirit can only give you advice based on what they see coming for you, or what they see for you in your future. Like, humans are notorious for, like, we could be enlightened, we could be rich, we could be poor, whatever the case may be, whatever position we're in, humans have this thing where we can completely go left and do a 360 and for Spirit, it's a little frustrating, but they're very calm, they're very patient, they love you, and they want the best for you, so they're willing to just burn the midnight oil and really put their nose to the grindstone and, like, really get to work on you. They just... It's just very hard to do so when they give advice and no one's listening. Like, they give advice and no one heeds their advice. It's very hard, or it's very hard when they give their advice and someone takes it completely the wrong way, and it's just, and then now they're taking the blessings that they were given and they're going down the wrong path, and they're misusing this blessing because it's not like, and then Spirit has me feel like, and then you wonder why you're miserable. You wonder why nothing goes your way. You wonder why, like, these things happen to you. It's because the blessings that were given to you, you're misusing them. Like, I feel like a misuse of a blessing. I feel like that's for some of you, and for a few of you that hits home. Like, you only have yourself to blame, but it's not like you don't have the power or the capability to change that. You do have the power and the capability to change that. If you're in a situation, I feel like if you're in a situation where you really can't speak up, everyone's situation is different, not everyone is the same. For some of you who feel like someone has your voice box, like I feel like someone has my voice. If you really feel constricted in your speech, if you really feel like you can't speak up, if you can't, like, now is the time, like, if you can't speak, then show it through your actions. They will get the hint. Show it through your actions. Really start taking steps to assert yourself. Oh, sweetie. Oh, that's tricky. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Like, just... oh my goodness. Taurus. Oh, sweetheart. I honestly... do something you love. Ground yourself. For the ones who really don't feel like they have a voice, for the ones who really feel like they aren't heard enough, or they're not acknowledged enough, do something you love. Do something you love this week. Do something that makes you happy. and really live in that. Don't worry about what anyone says. Don't worry about what anyone thinks. Like, find your own time, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, do what you want. Like, go to the side, do what you need to do. If you love to garden, garden. Start a garden, even if it's just one pot and like dirt. Just dirt. You like go to the woods or go like. There are resources around you to use if you're going to do this, but do something that you love. If you love to paint, then paint. Find a way to paint. Like, I get, like, why do I get, like, weaving stems together? Like, it's almost like I want to do something creative, and I want to do something creative, so I'm weaving stems together to create a canvas. Like, that's very thrifty. It's very, like, it's very creative on its own. Just do something you love. If it's photography, just do photography. Like, take pictures, go out, have a day. You know, let someone know that, you know what, I'm gonna be out for 5 minutes. I'm just gonna, you know, do me for 5 minutes. Go out, and if you want to walk, just walk around. I feel like some of you are gonna walk. Like, you're walking. Just walk around the neighborhood. You know, clear your mind. Just really, meditation takes on various different forms. You really don't have to sit down, crisscross. You really don't have to. Meditation can be, really getting lost in a drawing, or really getting lost while you're walking and you're looking at the scenery, or really just looking at a wonderful scenery and just letting your mind go. And just really just keeping in that tandem and keeping in that love and light energy, and just really just letting it in, letting it clear. I feel for the person who feels like they don't have a voice, I feel like really understanding your situation and understanding your purpose. Understanding your purpose is the biggest thing. But understanding your situation comes. I feel like understanding your situation comes second. Understanding your purpose comes first. So that's what Spirit is making me. Spirit's making me feel like understanding your purpose comes first, and understanding your situation comes second. Like, your purpose is the most important. Like, it's the whole reason you're breathing. And we eat and we wake up, and we keep waking up every day because we have a purpose. There's a reason for us being here. So, and it's not to be miserable. Like, we weren't made to be miserable. We weren't made to just fight every day. We were made to be happy. And I think that this is for like a very few of you. Like, there's a message within a message within a message for people. Like, all right, we gotta end this. This is like, for some of you, maybe understanding that it's a toxic relationship. For those who are in a relationship, maybe understanding that a certain relationship is toxic, whether it be platonic or whether it be on a more personal sense. Like, just understanding a relationship just isn't working, just isn't good, and moving on. Moving on at your own pace. Everyone moves on at their own pace. Just because this person was able to get over their spouse or their loved one or their best friend, like, just because they were able to, doesn't mean that you have to work within the same time period as they do. Like, you don't. You are you. With that being said, we're going to move into the last week. So you have the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. You also have the Mice as the advice. And I really need to clear that, because the mouse can go so far. It's very ambidextrous in its meaning. So the clarifier for that is the Four of Pentacles. So it's really just cross your T's and dot your I's, but try not to be too... Okay, So for some of you, cross your T's and dot your I's, and really try to uh, cross your T's and dot your I's, and try not to be too closed off. But I feel like for the majority of you, like, I feel like that message was for a select few. But for the majority of you, I would say that just keep it to yourself. That you really, like, if you're trying to get out of an abusive situation, or if you're trying to get out of a toxic situation, just really cross your T's and dot your I's, make moves, start to really just make moves to better your situation. You know, if you can't make moves at this moment to better your situation, just really, look for alternatives. Make an excuse to go out, and just go out and look for help. Or there may be help close by you, but I feel like it's for the one that there's help close by you. I feel like it's a very, 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 very narrow path of help. Like, this help, you would have to hit the target on the bullseye for this help. Like, this, it's such a slim chance, but it's a chance, and if you get it, it will. Oh my God, Spirit's giving me an image of a seed blossoming into a flower. Like, it's just like it becomes this. It just naturally. You ever seen those videos of seeds becoming flowers, like those speed overlapped videos that of flowers just budding. That's the image that I get. Like, once you hit the target, like, and you get that help that you need, and it's just like everything blossoms. There are going to be a little hard times because I'm getting thorns. There are going to be a little scuffles here and there, but I mean, standing in your power, I think this time that you need for those people, this time that you need, now I'm talking to a majority of people, the time that you need for yourself, I think, is to find... Is it? Yeah, it's to find your power. It really is to find your power. Some of you get your power from the earth. Like, dead on the earth. Like, your power literally comes from the earth. Like, the energy that the earth creates with the waves, the earthquakes, the tectonic plates moving, like, you get your energy from that. Oh, very powerful. Look at you. I feel like looking at a scenery, or just really becoming one with the earth, is going to be very important. It's going to be very, for some of you, I feel like it's going to be detrimental to realizing your power and recognizing it, and also getting a grasp of it. With that being said, with becoming the weight that balances the scales in the third week, I feel like instead of, coming into that conflict area and going into bad habits, I feel like in the last week, you really just, the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor because of what you did the week prior. The Wheel of Fortune really just is so, like, I feel so much gratitude from Spirit, like, so much gratitude. Like, Spirit is just like, thank you so much, thank you. This was going to be a problem, and I knew it was going to be a problem, and I was so hoping that you were able to step up to the plate, because this was out of my hands. Spirit can only do so much. Spirit can only interact with with us so much, because there's only so much that they're allowed to do, and there's only so much they're allowed to tell us, and there's only so much help they're allowed to give us. So Spirit was really counting on you to be the counterbalance for that week, and you did it. Like, if you did go through with it, you did it, and Spirit is so grateful. And it's almost as if Spirit's gratitude gets mirrored in your life, and the Wheel of Fortune turns in your favor, and you become this, like, you become the head honcho, you become the HBIC, basically. the head boss in charge. I didn't want to use boss, but you know what I mean. Like, you really become the HBIC, and it's really just, you earned it. You earned it. Like, Spirit is so grateful, and you earned this, and it's just like, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But while you're in this, I feel like while you're in this power, Spirit really wants you to, compassion again, compassion. It's with a lot of signs. Like, if you have a moon in Pisces or a rising in Pisces, really look at the Pisces reading. Like, there's a lot of compassion that Spirit has for you, and I feel like you will feel this. I feel like you will be receptive of this. Now I'm speaking to, like, the general, all of you. Like, I feel like you will be very receptive of this, and you're gonna have good times, and you like, Spirit wants you to feel the joy in the physical world as they feel in the spiritual realm. They really do. And so there is going to be this joyous, almost nostalgia that you're going to have at the end of the month, like near the end of the month. And with this nostalgia comes clarity. There may be, I feel like there's a conversation that you have that just brings a lot of clarity about the whole situation. Like, the whole situation that happens, like, there's a bit of information that you're given at the end of the month that brings that clarity, and it really has you, I feel like it would be best that you keep this information to yourself, because it could cause problems. And I'm getting the sense, like, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, you know, thank the person for sharing the information. Thank the source for sharing the information. But just don't, it's like, keep it in your back pocket. Like, don't really just, like, don't, this information is not to be used. And if it is used, then, I mean, I guess so be it. But if it is used, you can guarantee, there's, like, I feel like a guarantee of conflict if it is used. Like, again, like, well, you asked for it, so here it is. You know, but there is clarity. It is wonderful clarity. I will, like, definitely this week, cross your T's, dot your I's, really, really be thorough with a lot of the things, like, especially if you come into money. If you come into money, really dot your, like, whoo, like, really, you know, but Taurus has always been good with money. Like, at least the Taurus I know. They're always good with money. Like, I just don't see them just, they're very frivolous. Very conscious of money. Just cross your T's and dot your I's. That's it. And then keep your finances to yourself. Really do keep them private. I feel like it's no one's business. Like, it really is no one's business. Any trouble that you're going through, okay, here I am again with this. Okay, for those of you in a situation where you feel restricted in the throat chakra, just really work on that throat chakra. I think that you get most of your power from the earth, as I said before. Really just work on that throat chakra. I think that would help a lot, and that with the combination of re-energizing yourself and really meditating in that power of the earth, and I think will do wonders, like absolute wonders. With that being said, we're going to look at the far left on the cards that popped out. So what you have is the Four of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Heart card. So there is the sense of victory after a long wait. So you may have been waiting for this blessing for a long time, and it really has you overjoyed. But I always say that with blessings blessings come with their payment. Blessings absolutely come with their payment. Like, payments could be big and have little meaning, or they could be small and have large meaning, or vice versa. Like, but they do come with their payment. As I said in my videos, that it's kind of like winning the lottery. You'll have people who are jealous. You have people who are trying to trick you out of your money. You'll have people who are turning on you. People who were once nice become a-holes, and it's just this. It really just reveals the people's true nature, and but it's very hard to find out who's genuine and who's not when something of that scale really happens. And I feel like you already knew who was genuine and who was not. This opportunity just kind of exploited that, and now it's kind of like the ball is in your court, but you just have such an open heart. Like, you just have such I'm getting so much love. So much love. You know, that can be a double-edged sword, though. It can be. But this long-awaited victory does come, and it really does fill you up with love. And it, but just, be discerning. Get rid of toxic people who do more harm than good. I feel like for some of you hold on to those people when you shouldn't. Like, you unnecessarily hold on to those people, and you shouldn't. It's like, you shouldn't, but you still have this wonderful and kind and caring heart that you really feel for them, and that's just not... What I'm getting for Spirit is like, okay, that's okay, but later down the line, we're going to have to nip that in the bud. Like, later down the line, we're really going to have to come to terms with that. But right now, it's fine. Enjoy your blessing. Enjoy, understand your power. With this blessing, you're really going to have to be the counterweight and really just balance the cost of this blessing out. You have the tools to do so. You have the intuition to do so. You have the gifts to do so. If you need advice, Spirit's always there. Just ask them. And yeah, like that's what I get. Now on the far right, you have the world, you have the whip, and the clarifier for the whip was the high priestess and the star card, and the Four of Swords just kind of flew out, as well as the bottom of all of it was the 10 of Wands. So there really is this completion that happens. I feel like it's the blessing. The blessing is the completion, and it really brings a swift end, or it really brings swift insight to many things that you already knew, but now it's presented to you, Taurus, in a way that you just can't avoid right now. Like, you just can't avoid. Like, I said in the Pisces reading, why I keep referring to the Pisces reading. I said in the Pisces reading that, you have two options. Like, either you can do it willingly, or Spirit's going to put you in a predicament where you're just going to be forced to make a decision. And I feel like with you it's different, because with you, Spirit understands that you have the power to make the decision, and you have the discernment, and you really have the strong mentality to make the decision, but you have to find that power on your own. For some of you, I feel like you have it. You've just been waiting for the opportunity to do it, and this is the opportunity. This blessing's cost is the opportunity to nip things in the bud and to put things to rest. With some of you with gifts, this is like I feel like you manifested this. Like, you inadvertently were having conversations with Spirit, and like, you were like, this is what I want, and Spirit's like, all right, cool, relax, it's gonna happen. I'll make it happen. So with that, I would really say that keep your head held high. This is definitely a resting month. This definitely is a month to put down This definitely a month to just sit back and just not be the aggressor. Just not. It is not the month to be the aggressor. It is not. Now I've had experience in this. Being the counterweight is really, for Virgos it's different. I'm a Virgo. Yay me, Virgo sun. Um, like being a Virgo, it's very difficult for me because I just like I'm your atypical Virgo. Like I am your atypical Virgo. It's not that I try. It's not that I'm proud of it. It's more of like it's a fact. Like I just can't help it. Like I like things in certain places. Like everything has a place. Everything has its thing. And it's funny because in my conversations with Spirit, it really just drives. It's funny because it really drives Spirit crazy. But Spirit really loves that fact about me. Because when I talk about it, and even when I'm talking to Spirit about it, I just feel the sense of love and compassion for who someone is, and I understand that that's their feelings, and it's just, we have this wonderful and loving relationship. I really, really, really love my gift, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I honestly, it fills me with joy that I haven't had in a while. And when I first started using it, I really felt this release, almost as if I was bound for years, and like someone just cut the ropes off of my hands and my feet and just took the gag out of my mouth. And it was really just so freeing to really just use it and explore and exercise my gifts and abilities. So I would say that within this month, if you do have time to really just thank Spirit, for being there. But really, Spirit just wants you to relax. Like they know. For some of you, they know that you appreciate them, and for others, you really don't have to. But I mean, excuse me, it's a nice gesture. You know what I mean? It's a nice gesture. But being that, like, as I was saying before, being the counterweight. I mean, for me, it's a little bit difficult. I mean, I can only speak from my experiences. Like, being the counterweight is just it is so hard. So hard. And when I saw the 10 of, because for Virgos, there's so much restraint being the counterweight. There's so much restraint. For Taurus, it's a bit easier because you're just not all Taurus, but majority. The Taurus that I've experienced are just very nonchalant, but very stern, very sturdy, and very secure in themselves. So it's not the hardest to be the counterweight, but it can be a little stressful. So the 10 of Wands just made so much sense. Just so much sense when it came out. It's going to feel a little bit hard, but I feel like after this month you can put down the wands. Like after this month, you can put down the wands and it'll be fine. You can put down some of them, and just really just enjoy it. Just enjoy. I feel like I feel like the message in July is really important. For Taurus, I feel like the message in July is really important. I probably will do your reading first in July. We'll see. Because I still have to do the mid-months. So we'll check back in the mid-months and we'll see if they'll give us at least some glimpse or a hint of what's to come. But usually my mid-months consist of whether or not you did take the advice and where you are at the very moment in the middle of the month. And like as I said before, because we're human and because we change and our circumstances change and our minds change, our future changes along with it. So we'll see where you are at that point. And then because I feel like July there's an important message, or there's a phrase, there's something you need to hear for July. Definitely need to hear for July. But we'll see in the middle of the month if it comes up or not. Yeah. Because I really feel like it's up in the air. It's like Spirit's telling me, let's get through this month first. Let's get through this month first. But it's almost like a worried father. Not a worried mother, but a worried father. Like, let's just get through this month first, and then we'll tackle what's to come in July later. Because I feel like July carries this energy. Not unfinished business, but like... Whoo, child. What is this? Alright, Spirit, let's talk about that later. Alright, Taurus, well, that was your reading. Again, if you wish to book a private reading with me, I'm sorry, a personal reading with me, the information will be in the description box below, as well as with the list of readings that I do provide, and the services that I do provide. My website should be up soon. I'm so hoping in the next week, that we can get this fixed. It's really a domain name. They're having troubles with my domain name, and I'm just like, oh, I'm dying over here. But there are other services that I will be providing, and I will be releasing a couple of items, and that information will be divulged at a later date. All right, Taurus. Well, that was your reading. I really hope it resonated with you. I really hope. I just wish the best for you. I really do. I love you, Taurus. You're amazing. All right, guys. That was that. Hope to comment down below. I really do love feedback. I really do love